My dad used to force us to stand in the background while he talked about the government and posted it on YouTube. Some guy made a whole article on him saying, what this guy is saying is the truth. You guys need to listen to him. This guy is incredible. But the only thing I don't like is he has his family standing in the background. All weird. Like,
how's it going, homies? Tophiachu has been melting down recently. It's like the last couple of months combined all into one video. We got everything. Ashley Trevino, Tophiachu been hypocritical, Tophiachu refusing to work, Tophiachu accusing an imaginary squid of messing with her again. It's all here. And surprisingly, a very tragic tale towards the end. Something I wasn't expecting. Normally when you hear lolcow's backstories, you realize they've been this deplorable person for a majority of their lives. Like they were made to be the premium grade lolcows that they were always born to be. But Tophiachu was molded into the person we know today. It's like Papachus was the true and honest lolcow of the family and just forced his kids to become one too. He was having Tophiachu stand in the background of old YouTube videos while he did 7-hour-long videos talking about his imaginary bank. Then when that was over, instead of doing schoolwork, he'd have Tophiachu read business magazines and quiz her on the richest people in the world. And instead of pep talks, Papachus would give her desperation talks, begging Tophiachu or Brother Chu to get rich for their family. Some absolutely insane stuff is going on behind the four doors of the Chu Cruiser this week, people. So let's go ahead and get right into the video.
making a joke. Mind you, Ashley is garbage to begin with. What she does, I'm not condoning. But Santos, nothing is a joke. People's lives were put in danger. Like this lady, I get told to get off the internet, but there's not people showing up to an Airbnb to get put on a t-shirt and put where their family may not have life insurance for them. You guys got to stop showing up places too and risking your lives to troll somebody on the internet. That's not a threat. We saw what Miss Gold was almost going to do until they said, hey, we're just here to take a photo. It could have went way worse. And because you and Ashley Trevino, because of Santos and Ashley Trevino not taking it seriously, innocent people are going to get stop. Like, it's not a joke. Okay, it's not a joke. Not mentioning usernames. Several people. You guys have to understand things before you just speak. I do not have thousands of dollars to pay for an RV. Although I might be making thousands of dollars, it's still money that's got to go towards an RV, which is too much money for an RV. And unless I'm making a GoFundMe saying, hey, fund towards an RV, that's out of the question. As far as renting an apartment goes, we are not renting anymore. I'm not going to go rent to get evicted somewhere because people choose not to listen. Okay, if people are doxing me while I'm out of my car, what makes you think they're not going to try to dox me while I'm in an apartment? Especially if someone that lives at the apartment sees me, they're literally just going to try to get me evicted from the apartment. I'm no longer renting anymore. I'm tired. I don't want to do it. Renting, my father's going to be stuck out in the streets and we wouldn't be able to have him, and we would be living without him for years, for more years. Because if we rent a place, that's it. We're not going to get a house because I'm not going to move for a long while, and my dad won't be able to live with us because he's on a do not rent list. And the guy who called us is trying to help him get on his medication. So as far as that goes, you know, we wouldn't be able to have him for years. I'm not going to have my dad living out in the streets because you tell me hurry up and go rent an apartment. I don't have my mother doing anything. If you feel like I have my mother living out of the car, I don't know what to tell you because I'm not forcing her. She's the one who's choosing. I already said this, and it's pissing me off. If people continue, I'm just going to have to force her to go to the shelter. That's what I'm going to have to do. I'm just going to have whoever come and force her to go there, whether she likes it or not, because that's what you want me to do. And then she's going to get mad and not go, and I'll waste resources for nothing because then she'll refuse to go because she does not want to go where you're telling me that I have to have her go. I'm not having my sick mother out of the car in the winter. If I have to, I'm just going to have to force her into a home, and then she'll be mad at me. I'm not forcing my mom somewhere she doesn't want to go. Please stop. Please stop suggesting things that don't work. Thank you. Please stop. I know someone's going to talk about the end of that video. My mom did that because there is this annoying thing that keeps banging at the bottom of our car. It's some type of rodent. I don't know if it's a rat. I don't know what it was because the cat was under there and the cat went rear and attacked it, but didn't get what it was because the cat ran off. So it's probably either like some rat or it's bigger than a rat because it's loud banging. So whatever it is bigger than a rat, I believe. We don't know. It's in a car, under the car somewhere, probably in the machinery. I can't explain it. It's not in the car with us, but it's under and it's banging. And it does this at a certain hour. Anyways, like I said, those of you who are suggesting an RV, if you're not going to put money forth an RV, please do not suggest things that you're not going to help put money towards. I'm not going to come on the internet and ask for money, so please stop suggesting.
You know, guys, I can't lie. I would like to see the adventures of the Chu family from the RV. It's been a long time since we had a good RV stream. Ever since Blade got sober and all the other ones didn't, we've really been missing out. If the Chu family could just get it together and actually make this work, it'd be amazing. Brother Chu on the lookout for trolls. Papachus, the traveling swindler. He rolls into town, scams everyone there, and maybe he escapes, maybe he doesn't. And Tophiachu, she'll probably just sleep and complain like she normally does. But that'll never happen. When Tophiachu wakes up, all she thinks about is the trolls and ways to one-up them. These aren't real goals of hers. Now, a potential real goal of hers is the removal of Mamachu. One of the commenters in the last video left the most accurate description of Tophiachu and her mom's relationship. When the two talk, it sounds like Mamachu is some tiny henchman talking to her intimidating overlord. If it came down to it, I 100% believe if the cops came and said, someone has to leave this car in a hypothetical scenario, it's not safe, you know. Tophiachu would be packing Mamachu's bags almost immediately, not even a second guess. I don't think she's been all that sarcastic when she's talking about taking Mamachu to the shelter. Could you imagine Mamachu wakes up one morning to Tophiachu with the phone in her face saying, "You're going to the shelter. TikTok's forcing my hand, Mom. I'm sorry about this, but it's just gotta happen." Mamachu might be the first parent in the history of the world evicted from the family car because her daughter's audience demands it. And speaking of the ownership of the car, I wonder what's big enough to be making audible knocking sounds you can hear throughout the entire video. If the Chews don't watch out, whatever that is might kick them all out of that car. And when that happens, you know she's blaming Squid 100%.
I'm not coming on the internet to ask people to raise money for an RV. I'm not coming on the internet to ask people to get me into an apartment till I get a job. I'm not renting anymore. I'm tired of moving around. I don't want to have to go to an apartment and then try to hide myself because if someone sees me at the apartment, tries to get me evicted and dox me. I'm not going through all of that again. I want to just own a house. Can you guys just leave me alone? And when I say that I'm working towards owning a house, can you not try to say, well, you need to get something right away when I don't, or else if I get an apartment, I'm not moving for a very long time. And my father won't be able to live with us, which means I don't know where he'll be for the rest of the years, because that's where we'll be, because I'm not moving again. And I'm not going to a place to get evicted again. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing what people want me to do. I'm going to do what I think is best for my family. And what I think is best is best. I'm not going to put my mom in a nursing home or an old folks home. That is dumb. I'm not going to send my mom to a shelter that is dangerous for women because the police told us, and have to worry about if my mom's okay while I'm here sleeping out of a car. I am not going to do it. I understand how you guys feel and you're concerned for my mother, but please, you're making it seem like I don't care because I'm not the one who chose for her. I said, if people keep bothering me with this, I'm going to have to force you to go to a shelter. She got mad because she said I'm not going. I don't know what to do, okay? I'm not going to force somebody who is old enough to make decisions for themselves go where they want to. Please stop. Just know that I'm working towards things and I don't have to tell the internet anything. I can talk about other people and focus on my situation as well. Please stop. I keep my phone on standby and ready, so I have to pay my phone bill. I have to buy hygiene, feminine products, and pants. I go through pants like crazy because sometimes I buy new pants, and then, if I can't, it's a hard time for my brother to take us to go wash because he's busy. He's doing a lot of things to make the money so we can have things. Sometimes I can't control what he does with his money, and he might not spend it this way, but, it's very difficult. This money I get from TikTok really helps me, but, it's like, I don't know. Like next year, right? There's some exciting things that is going to happen. I want my mom to be able to enjoy herself but then people are going to say, well, you're doing this, but you spent all this money, but you're not working on getting a place, because I am not going to hear it next year when something happens, because I already said I'm working on it. Please leave me alone. Because I'm not going to hear it when I make these decisions to do whatever it is that I choose to do while having to tell y'all I'm waiting to get this document. I have to go see if we have this document in stores, blah, 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 blah. I am not going to hear from people saying, you're going to go spend your money on this, but you're in this. Don't come at me for my situation because it's taking time. I hate real life interactions with people. It's just like when I was going through a situation and my car was locked. Like I thought this lady was going to find me, but she wasn't. I'm literally homeless, and then this person asked for a picture, which is fine. I gave them a picture, but it's just like I'm going through a situation. I'm homeless out of my car, and like all people could think is like, here, take a picture. Like it's weird. It's crazy. For some people, I'm not trying to say that person was rude because you wasn't rude. I don't want you to take it as you being rude, but I locked the keys in my car and I'm distressed, and then I stopped to take a photo. Like I can't mentally do this anymore if people keep messing with me, and I don't have to get off the internet. Because if I get off the internet, my family's not going to have this extra money I make from the internet to help fix the cars or get parts that I need, because then I won't be making any money on the internet, and this extra money greatly helps me. People like Ash Trevino do horrible things on the internet and start turning on people and blaming people and saying it's their fault when she needs to take 100% accountability. She's got 2,000 subscribers. Do you guys know how much money she made? Heffa literally admitted that someone dropped $20,000 on her. That is so crazy to me that people dropped $20K on Ash Trevino. Like, you guys see that I'm saying I'm struggling to afford an RV, but then turn around and get mad at me for not being able to afford an RV. There's nothing I can do. I'm not going to go to a job to only then be asked to leave the next day because they're getting harassed. I just can't do it mentally and physically. Mentally, I'm not well enough to go to a job. My mentality is not, I can't be at a job mentally. The only thing I can do is go live, because that's what I can do, talk about people's situations, not my own, because it's not anybody's situation. So that's the only thing I know to do. I'm not going to talk about anybody else. If I don't want to talk about certain people, I don't want to talk about certain people. I'm just talking about updates and what I see on TikTok. I'll talk about any and everything. I'll talk about nostalgic things, whatever I want to talk about. If you don't want to hear what I'm talking about, please just leave the live. There's no need for negativity. I'm already going through something enough as it is. But yeah, everybody cheered on a housekeeper that literally made $300 off of me. Let's not do this. How come people are allowed to sit off on live streams and talk about my situation and make money off of me, but yet they're not obsessed? Or, and one of them lives with their father and was literally talking about me. Can we please? Why do we allow that? How it works. we are not going to go and explain every tidbit of what I'm doing. I am tired. I'm not explaining myself anymore. If I want to talk about somebody and updates that I see, I will. You don't want to hear it, you can leave. If you think I'm not doing anything to better my situation, please leave. Please don't, like, I don't have to keep explaining my situation. I can't afford a room only to be asked to leave because we can't afford it. I can't get an apartment only to not be able to afford an apartment. I can't get an RV, it's too expensive. I can't get an RV because it's too expensive, it's too much money to save. That'll be like living out of a car for 4 years because we have to save about $10,000.
She's already setting her audience up for disappointment. Tophiachu just can't help but to spend money for no reason. She's homeless in a car, looking at future events, probably some Comic-Cons, local WWE matches, some concerts, and already, yep, I'm buying that. You can't make this up. And she already knows the backlash and how bad of an idea it is, but she's like, no, forget it. Common sense and intuition, who needs those? Will and resilience? Just give me all the dopamine boosts you can. But that's not even the most ridiculous thing she says during all that. So, I just finished doing an Ashley video, and both Tophiachu and Ashley, they're so similar. They're both selfish and awful, and treat their loved ones poorly. I'd say Ashley is a little worse, but let's be real, that's just because Ashley is more social than Tophia. But why get on here and blame her for making money? Tophia is so mad that people dislike her too, but give her nothing. But give Ashley thousands, so she can go and waste money and avoid her family at Disneyland. Do you guys know how bad Tophiachu wants to do that? Just abandon the rest of the Chu family and go play pretend all day. When she heard about Ashley's Disney trip, you know Tophiachu was freaking out in that car because her TikTok career never really began. And then when it comes to real work, we got a new excuse. It used to be she needed a life alert if she needed to shuffle over to the park bushes in the middle of the night because of her knees, you know? And now it's just she isn't mentally well. Has Tophia been watching Reverend News recently? He stayed unemployed for almost 3 decades with that strategy. This thought process Tophiachu has is the biggest sign of someone never having a job in their life. She's just never had one. How sweet would it be if we could just wake up and be like, you know what? Just not feeling it today and take a 3-month break. We'd all like to take a mental day off work at least, for just sometimes, you know? But it doesn't matter. Unless you can switch or have days off, you gotta go unless you want to be fired. But most people have too much to lose to just flat out quit their job for a little bit.
I had to fess up to eating McDonald's and be like, well, I couldn't only afford to eat that. And people came at me and was like, people attacked me and told me I supported G-Side when that was not the case. I'm starving. If that's all I can afford, that's all I can afford. Some places are expensive. I can't go drive through the drive-thru and pick it up. I don't drive, you know? And it's crazy because it sucks, but people like Michaela can have Starbucks or whatever. I don't want to see this person's page. Like, seriously, why do I have to see videos from other people that other people follow? It's friends for a reason. Like, I get it, right? Because I'm mutuals with that person and they're mutuals with that person. So on my friends, I get videos of other people that my friends follow. Anyways, TikTok, fix your feature. I do not want to see videos of people I don't follow. Just because my friends follow them doesn't mean I want to see their videos. It's like, oh, here's a video of someone your friend follows. Like, I don't follow those people. If I wanted to see their videos, I would follow them. Thank you. Like, I'm tired of seeing, because every scroll is because of the mutual that follows them. And I'm tired of it. Like, you know, like, I get it. Everyone wants to talk about Astravino this, Astravino that. I don't care about what's on the NSPD website and what comments people left, okay? Unless the police are taking any real action, it's wasting police resources, technically not wasting police resources, because police don't do anything anyways. So, I don't care. Like, I get it, but I don't want to see those videos. Thank you. This isn't what this is. I'm just so sick and tired of people having commentary about why my life is the way that it is. You don't know what I have to go through in my life because the internet has displayed to you things that are cropped or edited. I'm so sick and tired of people sharing pieces of things when there's whole live streams that have been held for hours. And I'm not the only one who goes through it. I'm tired of people sharing messages and not showing the full messages of things. I've seen drama elsewhere from pages that I watch that are live that have literally talked about this, where someone tried to share out of context conversation because they didn't share the whole conversation. I'm so sick of stuff like that. It gets mentally draining, exhausting, and I'm so annoyed. Like, I don't need someone's commentary on why I'm homeless at Thursday because you buy all these. Like, can you not? If you don't know everything about a situation, please don't speak. It was giving clout chaser. Perez was bored. Perez does not want to go live with me. He was bored because the highlight of his life was getting hit by Orlando Bloom. Okay, whatever people was telling him about me is not interesting by far. It's boring. So yeah, see, even he's bored with it. That should tell you something. The Perez Hilton. Let me tell you something. Perez, yeah, boring. Like, let's be for real. Let's be honest. Like, he got hit by Orlando Bloom, and I remember that one. So yeah. Not in the slightest was he interested. You guys need to stop blaming other people for why your views are so low, saying my views are so low. Like, my views are so low, and I'm not getting any samples, but people help these people get to 1 million followers. Let me tell you something. You are the reason why your views are low. Instead of complaining, why don't you go and post videos every single day and be consistent? Find something in your house that you see on TikTok Shop, search it up, review it. That's what I did. I reviewed my ring light. I got reached out by people. You have to have views and followers. If you're not putting in the work and you're complaining about other people, you're not putting in the work. People come online and say, well, I work a 9 to 5 job. I work hard. That's the bare minimum. Everybody has to work hard. And I don't like that, because some people can't even get a job. So it's like assuming people are not working hard, considering the fact that it was exposed that Miss Trevino still works at the dentist office where she says she wasn't going to work at, that she still works there. So she has a 9 to 5 job while doing social media, which they're trying to get her fired from her job. Someone took a picture of her at her job, and it was recent because the nails were recent to the time of the same nails that she had. So instead of complaining about your views being low, get up, get active, review products, keep pushing, or else you're not going to get where you need to get. You're missing out on a lot of money. Trust me. Push yourself to do it, and you will get there. It doesn't seem like you're putting work into your account if you're complaining about Ashley Trevino. Like, I'm sorry, no shade, but instead of worrying about what they got going on, worry about you. She built her platform off of not being a good person. It's not going to last. Remember, TikTok is being banned. She can't build her platform everywhere else, right? My platform was not built off of people. I wasn't built for the wrong reasons, right? People followed me because they me a little bit, but it was because my boss started videos. But she can't say the same thing. Let me tell you something. Misery loves company. She's turning on Santos that made her turn on Miss Gold, and now she's got nobody. Eventually, the platform that she built for the wrong reasons is not going to last. You guys think that building platforms for the wrong reasons are not going to last. When TikTok is banned, she could probably go somewhere else and go live and do her shenanigans, but people are not really going to F with her like that. To be truthfully honest, when you build your platform for the wrong reasons, it is not going to last and for long.
McDonald's. Just like Wings has his Wendy's chili, Tophiachu has her triple quarter pounders at McDonald's. Only Tophiachu would get canceled for eating at McDonald's. Has she not realized yet people are going to cancel her just because it leads to funny moments like this? If there's some drama on TikTok about McDonald's, which Tophiachu for sure got involved in for no reason, why would she admit to eating it, at all? All it's going to do is cause her problems. She doesn't even use her face cam. The only reason anyone knows what the inside of her car looks like is because of trolls. How would anyone know if she's eating it at all? If she got caught at the drive-thru, all she'd have to say is, Mickey D's has Mama Chu's favorite bushes, and problem solved, we'd all believe it. But nah, it's better when Tophiachu just refuses to help herself. And then, as a content creator, Tophiachu is complaining about a feature that only promotes content. Like, Tophia, think about it. If other people are following you and they have friends, that means your videos are being exposed to people who may have no idea who you are. I mean, I'm not sure why Tophiachu blew up in the first place. Maybe you can tell me in the comments, because her just reviewing some plants and some other things around her house, that just doesn't seem real. But oh no, what am I saying? Tophiachu knows all about TikTok. How is she gonna tell someone to stop being lazy? You're the same person who slept through their car, which is technically your home, getting broken into, and you woke up and realized what was going on, but just went back to sleep. That'll never not be insane to me. That Tophiachu is so lazy, it bypasses all of her survival instincts. And then while she's telling this person that they're lazy, she slips up and mentions that Ashley Trevino still works a 9 to 5 while making bank on TikTok. And Ashley gets drunk 5 out of 7 days of the week. I have 20-year-old hangovers. They can be pretty bad sometimes. I can only imagine some 30-plus-year-old hangovers. If Ashley can do that, Tophia, so can you. How could she think that was a good idea to upload that? It's like Ashley is just one-upping you every single step of the way, but Tophiachu still somehow thinks she's the better person.
Damn, I don't like Ted DiBiase. That's one guy that I really hated. Besides the AEW, which I don't really watch AEW. I was hoping for Undertaker, but since he's a Trump supporter, not anymore. No. Or Kane, but I don't like Kane anymore either. Now Mick Foley, thank you for the galaxy. We got a galaxy. I should be like Rocky. Do. Start punching a slab of meat.
Free now.
Rocky, or however it goes. Or the Eye Tiger be like, do.
Okay, guys, for another galaxy, my daughter will do jumping jacks. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't say that, because they'll really send one.
No.
Do it. I'm just kidding. Yeah, they're really saying that. Do it. I will do jumping jacks if someone sends a galaxy. No lie. I don't have to. I don't have a choice.
No, if you said you wasn't, they sent it. That's their problem.
I would have
Wouldn't
to.
it be?
Look, they sent a galaxy. Now I have to do jumping jacks. Thank you, Mom.
I didn't pay for you to do it. Oh, no. Watch, she's gonna do it for you guys.
I have to do Rocky. I'm just kidding. I can't do it though. I can't. It's hard.
You did it. Okay.
Yeah, but because I can't even do this.
You
man.
did. You did.
No, I still have to do a bunch. I can't do this, you guys.
And for the next galaxy, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna say
don't.
anything else.
Don't do that.
I'll do jumping jack. No, I can't today.
You'll be like.
No, what happened? My left side's not working right.
I don't know. Hit the quan. Hit the quan. I can't do that one. I don't know how it goes. People want to dab it up, but they can't get none from it. At least I had. Hit the quan. Hit the quan. Isn't that where it's from? Or maybe I could do the Soldier Boy. Where it's like Soldier Boy, Superman, that. Oh. That's how it goes. Or the you have to jump though. I am not gonna do that.
What?
There's a guy screaming like crazy. He's like, he's just screaming.
That's what I heard. It sounded like a car screech.
No, it's a guy, he's screaming.
You see the guy?
No, he's probably in the ditch. Because there's a guy that was in the ditch. One girl said she bought chicken nuggets for Taco Bell and she said don't buy any because her stomach got messed up. Like she had bad stomach.
I don't know. We used to eat. What's that roast beef place?
Arby's?
Arby's all the time. And when we was in this last room, it made me sick whenever we ate it.
Oh, because we ate the Good Burger meal.
Yeah,
The
but
Good
I wonder
Burger
if the
too.
roast beef sandwich would make me sick.
Thank you for the gift points. Everyone's homeless. Is that what someone said? Or I don't know what they said. It sounded like they said everyone's homeless. On everyone's soul.
And then they used to make a wicked Arby's sandwich. I mean, loaded it. And now you got this little flat, looks like a ham sandwich.
It's a fluffy dog. It looks like he just got his hair cut. Oh no, something happened. Here he comes. He's walking this way. Hold on, guys.
Catch all power! Pew!
It's been a while since I watched wrestling. I have no idea who's on AEW at all, but I do know who Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, is. I'm not surprised at all. Tophiachu hated this guy. Some dude flaunting his wealth. You know Tophia and Papachu was screaming at the TV on those Monday nights. And how is Tophia going to be in her 30s and still actively hating wrestlers she did as a kid? I remember hating Randy Orton as a kid. He was the worst. And then I got older and realized he was just good at his job. How could you dislike them anymore? Normally, it brings an appreciation. But nah, Tophiachu is just a hater. Just look how she's treating Mamachu. After Mamachu basically got them a Galaxy donation. And I wasn't sure how much that was. So I asked the Leaping Lemur and he told me a Galaxy emote is basically a $100 donation. Mamachu secured the McDonald's for a day or two, but Tophiachu forgets that so quick, and even after Mamachu says her left side isn't working right, she may have been joking, but she didn't even follow it up with her signature henchman laugh, or maybe the situation was just a little too dire to laugh since some weird guy was screaming in the background.
There's so many people at the park. Man, I want to go over there. Now we can't, but I gotta let this car run. My car is clean. This is my mom's stuff, which, yeah, we have to organize the whole car. That's what's the problem. It's literally a whole field. It's not a park with kids. It's literally people playing soccer and grown adults and benches. Well, she can move, but it's just her side. That's the problem. And my leg is hurting. So, yeah, okay. Whoever was in the comment section saying Albuquerque's getting a bad rep literally does not watch TV because Neil Patrick Harris shouted us out at one of the award shows, which I believe was the Oscars or the Academy Awards. So let's not say that Albuquerque's getting a bad rep because of me. First of all, it's so weird that people are like, I don't even know her. I've never seen her and I've lived her. Like, bro, nobody cares. Your side characters. Then on top of that, all the other shelters are trash. And the assistants, there is no help. You're legit side characters who want to be seen, right? It's so crazy. Like, I lived in Albuquerque and I never knew she lived here. Like, okay, so what if you live in Albuquerque? What does that got to do with anything? Why do people got to be like, Albuquerque's getting such a bad rep because of her? No, Albuquerque is a horrible, shitty place that has nothing but tent cities everywhere and homeless people vandalizing buildings and small businesses because they don't have anything better to do than to rob people, right? Because who knows who could have robbed me? It might have not been the internet, but since someone wanted to brag about robbing me and showing photos, then of course I'm going to go off of that. But homeless people still, they vandalize businesses that aren't even theirs. It's so bad, like to the point I'm homeless and they're not doing anything about helping homeless people. Let's really talk about how Albuquerque has been called shitty for the longest time and it had nothing to do with me. Like, it is so crazy considering you guys don't even talk about John Bones Jones always being drunk downtown, getting arrested. That's not even the other stuff, the corruption that goes on within our government, how we're still not getting any help, and that money's supposed to go to homeless people, help people, but yet they don't care about helping the homeless people because let the homeless people run amok and damage small businesses that aren't theirs, which is why a lot of small businesses are shutting down because the vandalism and they can't afford to keep afloat because of that. But you want to blame me. There's so much I could talk about this trash city, right? And I have to be stuck and live here because I can't afford to move out of the city, right? People say, why don't you move out of the city? It's not feasible for us to move. Everything's just so gosh darn expensive. And then on top of that, like I said, when you constantly get harassed from one place to another and it's like they're like, you can't be parked there, you can't be parked here. It's like constant harassment from police for being homeless.
Now we're back at how Tophiachu doesn't ruin Albuquerque's reputation, and she has solid proof this time. Since Neil Patrick Harris shouted the city out during an awards show, Tophiachu, she's in the clear now. She was worried for a second, but Neil pulled through for her. Now, if this is brought to his attention via Twitter and, he retracts his statement, well, some good things actually happen in this world every now and then. Or maybe Neil will pull a Harold and Kumar and show the Chew Cruiser how to really party. And Tophia, I doubt a lot of men want to confront John Jones about being a menace in their city. There's probably a John Jones task force in the police department, and he's probably undefeated against them as well. I hate to say it, but people are going to blame you over him every single time when it comes to Albuquerque's problems.
I can't see. Mom, put your flashlight on. I need your flashlight.
What?
Your flashlight.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
I need to pull
I
it.
don't have mine. I don't know where it's at.
Scroll down. No. It's not an app. You gotta go. Ah, nuts.
My other phone's not going on.
My mom needs a warm place to. She isn't gonna sleep like that. First of all, you don't even know what I'm doing, so I would suggest not suggesting things, guys. I'm not trying to be rude, but I do need to explain this. My situation is my situation, and I'm not gonna talk about what I'm doing in my situation because of the fact I'm being. What makes you think I would tell you if I was getting a house or if I was getting anything? And what makes you think we're gonna be here for a long time? Explain it. I'm working on something else before I get the house. I'm not gonna wait to get the house because once we get that document, it's not going to be easy to buy a house. You do have to remember that it takes a while just to even secure a house when you're buying one. So that's a thing. And plus, people fail to realize I lived in a house twice, meaning that I know how much money it costs for lights and things like that. My parents were renting to own a house. People literally sit here and say, I hope you have money for this in your house. I hope you have money for house insurance. Like, literally, I know what the process is of owning a house. Especially, we were renting a house once, but we were also renting to own a house. So I know the expenses, although the expenses are different from 2021 to now. Oh, you know what I've been seeing? I've been seeing dead shop stores. Where in Albuquerque do they have one? I need are they called dead shops? Okay, so dead shop stores are stores that sell vintage toys and things, like vintage Disney stuff, like Jonas Brothers, Hannah Montana, Brat stuff. Like, I've been seeing dead shop stores so much on my For You page, it's crazy. So I said, let me try to look one up here. We don't have one, or if we do, I don't know. They had a Bratz pinata. They had a Victoria's pinata, and I was like, unopened mystery boxes from the early 2000s, belts that have the stars on them, like the pink belts with the glitter stars. I was like, bro, Hannah Montana stuff, glasses, Jonas Brothers stuff. I was like, you could not. And then I looked up and it said, I clicked in Albuquerque, this girl, and I said, hey, where's that at? Because it looked like downtown. It was not in Albuquerque. It was not even in New Mexico. Who is giving me money to go to a concert? Are you crazy? Maybe just don't assume that if I'm talking about a concert, don't you think that I would have everything together before I go to a concert? So if I'm talking about a concert, that must mean that I'm working towards getting my stuff together. So don't assume I'm not going to have any stable living situation or a living situation in general before I go to a concert. What is your problem? This is not John Madden, okay? We are not playing NFL, okay? I'm not giving you a play-by-play of what I'm doing. I'm not explaining myself anymore. I've already said it. So if you think I'm going to a concert without having a living situation, you must be crazy. But I'm just going to, enjoy life. Why am I going to, even if I have a living situation, why should I have to sit around and be miserable? I want to travel again. I want to go. I don't want to be stuck. I'm not a miserable person. I just said I have exciting things coming in 2025 pertaining to my personal situation. So how does that make me miserable? I'm not miserable. I just said I have exciting things coming. So how does that make... I am happy. I'm not miserable. That's what when I get a house too, I'm trying to figure out, because I don't know what places we have. We probably have an IKEA. I don't know if we do for furniture, because I'm like, how do you order your furniture? Like, let's say like you have a house and you closed on it. Like, because you can't order furniture before you know if you've got your house, right? If you bought a house. So I'm like, how should I order my furniture? So that way it's there so I'm not sleeping on the floor. Although we might have to sleep on the floor until our furniture comes in, but... The thrift shop does have good furniture, because my dad used to get some furniture from Goodwill. But the issue being is I want to get brand new beds, which I think I can order from Amazon, and have them set it up, because there's people you can pay to set up stuff. That's what I think. I think there's some nice beds on Amazon. You can't afford anything. I'm not even gonna say it.
As soon as this segment opens up, Tophia is demanding Mamachu around, being the big boss Mamachu sees her as, and Mamachu just has to take it. She knows how close she is to Ben and Papachu's situation, and she just couldn't handle that kind of stress. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that cough isn't good, but Tophiachu doesn't care. Even when they're on live stream, and she could catch some flack for it. Not saying that's a good way to live, but could you imagine if the cameras wasn't there, or how she treats her when they're not on camera? And for the most part, it seems like Tophiachu and Mamachu have a decent time together. Tophiachu really has to learn to appreciate what she has while she has it. Maybe that would build some urgency, because what does Tophiachu realistically think is going to happen without getting a job in their situation? It's not going to improve, unless Brother Chu is really pulling some serious weight, and maybe because we never see him in the car during the lives, so that might be the case. And if it is, how low is that? Sitting in the car for 24 hours a day, laughing and joking with Mama Chu, screaming at her phone, while she still might kick Mama Chu out at any moment, while Brother Chu is out working 15 hours a day, trying to get you guys a house to live in. And if he succeeds, you know Tophiachu will be bragging about it on live stream, about how the house is because of her, even though she spent all of her money at a Disney discount store.
Yeah, I don't remember what my GPA was, because I know they have a thing for like seniors or something. I don't know what it was. So what it was is that whoever got straight A's their senior year, they had this event where you can draw a ticket and win a car. You had a chance in a raffle to win a car. You don't have to pay for the raffle. You just go and they give you a ticket, and you have a possibility of winning a raffle. I mean, of winning a car. But my dad at the time, what happened was that he said it was not about making money. It was a waste of time to go and try to win a car. I wasn't going to win anyways. And I was like, how would you know? You don't know if I'm going to win a car or not. And it's free. It was a free event. It was a special event for seniors from every high school who graduated with straight A's for a possibility to win a car. Had a position in student government. We had to go to class at like 6. So we had to take early classes. If you were like vice president, if you were president, if you had like a position, right, you had to go. So anyways, then I couldn't go in the mornings because my dad said I was failing classes, which I was, but they put me in the wrong class. That's why. So then I failed chemistry and I had to like quit. I just had to quit. He said, you have to quit because you're failing classes. And I had to be passing classes to do that class anyways. My prom, I always wanted to go to prom because I always loved that movie Pretty in Pink. And if you know anything about the movie Pretty in Pink, in the movie when Andy's like, Andy's friend is like, I figured it was side effects from not going to prom. Like, I always thought I would regret. Like, oh, I didn't go to prom. You know, I never went to my prom. And I would have side effects of not going to prom. You know, that type of thing. But I went to enough dances in high school where I'm not bothered if I didn't go to prom because I went to, like, almost every dance except prom. And if it wasn't about making money, then I couldn't do it. I almost didn't graduate. My dad said, you can't graduate because they wanted $300 for the cap and gown, right? It was a thing that seniors had to pay $300 for their cap and gown. We couldn't afford that at the time. My parents were broke. We were about paying $2,000 in bills for this house. But the issue being is that my dad said if it wasn't about making money, we couldn't go. I remember my dad bought me a table at Goodwill because he wanted me to read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and he forced me to read business books. And he told me I had to know about every rich person. He would ask us who was the world's richest. It was obsessive. He was obsessed of being like, one of us had to be rich, right? See, my brother's really good at electronics. My brother is really good at electronics. So what he would do is he would flip-flop. He would say, well, your brother's going to work on computers. You have to do stocks. Like, I didn't have a choice of what I wanted to do, even though I wanted to own a restaurant. He would tell me, restaurants are oversaturated. There's too many restaurants. You don't want to own a restaurant because it's not worth it. It's oversaturated. There's too many of them. Just do stocks. Like, this is where the money is. Then he would say, you don't have to do it. Because then, at first, my brother was going to a school where he was in a mechanic class. So he knew how to somewhat work on cars. He has his license in brakes. He can do brakes. That's what he can do. So then my dad would be like, oh, you don't have to do stocks. Your brother's going to do it. So he would force my brother. And then he would say, your brother's going to be a mechanic. So he can't do stocks. Somebody's going to have to learn. I need you to do it because, you know, he was always, man, I don't want to be like famous to the point where I need bodyguards or security because the way he was talking, he was like, you're gonna have to have a bodyguard when you go somewhere with a guy or somewhere you go on a date. Your bodyguard's gonna have to be with you at all times. At the time, he did have a business he was running, and he also has an LLC where he has a licensed record label. He was trying to run a record label that was gonna have rap, rock, gospel, country, hip hop. He was trying to do another record label, and he had some artists with him. He actually put on an event where he had his artists perform, and he has some really good rappers, some really good talented artists, but that didn't work out, and it fell through because he didn't get as much turnout as he wanted to for the event. But it was called Tophiachu City. He named it after me. It's THC Records, Tophiachu City, not THC like the substance. So, but anyways, he did get it registered. He paid to register, but it just didn't work out. So then he was saying, like, when we become rich, you're gonna have to go to a private school. You will no longer, he said, you won't be able to live a normal life and go to a public school. We had to know everything about who is the world's richest. He would sit there and rant for hours. To be truthfully honest with you, there's some videos that I wish weren't out there, but they are. And I know someone's gonna find them somewhere, probably resurface. My dad used to force us to stand in the background while he talked about the government and posted it on YouTube. Some guy made a whole article on him saying, what this guy is saying is the truth. You guys need to listen to him. This guy is incredible. But the only thing I don't like is he has his family standing in the background, all weird. Like, my dad was not on his medication, so we couldn't say no. He literally took pictures. He literally made us hold up money and take pictures. He told me to put my hat on because at that time I used to have a snapback, a UNM snapback hat that I bought because I was going to UNM at the time. So he bought me this hat. And he said, stand there and take a picture in your hat. I didn't have a say. I would tell him no, and he would get mad. So me and my mom and my brother both had to stand there and take pictures. I remember one time we didn't get ready, and I just threw on whatever I had, and I went to Walmart with him, and he drugged us to take pictures, and my mom said no, because, you know, at that time Walmart used to have where you could take the family photos. And so then we were forced to take those photos, which is the photos that he has. And my mom didn't like those. She always said, I hate those photos because we were not dressed for family photos.
This dump of suppressed emotions really caught me off guard. When Tophia first started talking, it kind of shined some light on her backstory for me and why she might be like this. Obviously, there's no excuse for her bad behavior and refusal to work. You just can't be an adult and live like that. But for once, when a lolcow told their backstory, I wasn't like, yep, explains everything, you know, in a bad way. I was like, oh man, Tophiachu might have had a chance if she wasn't raised by Papachus and all of his madness. I mean, probably not, but maybe. Even Tophia's comments were roasting her at first, but you can go back and watch. They slowly quit roasting her as they listen to this story and start apologizing. I've never seen anything like it. And everyone who spoke about Tophia has normally mentioned how horrible it would be living with Papachus, but when Tophiachu explains the reality, it gets way more horrifying. He was controlling every aspect of their life, all of them, because he's upset with his position in his life. And it's Papachus. He's got his own problems, we all know that, but really, Toph never had a shot. She wasn't allowed to grow as a person. It's no wonder her entire family is so attached to one another. It seems like this was caused by Papachus a long time ago.
Because he was not on his medication, he was taking testosterone pills. And if you know anything about that, that was even worse. That was making him worse. He was taking testosterone pills on top of not taking his pills. So the testosterone pills was making him worse than what he was. And it was a bad time. I had holes in my shoes because at that time I was 18. I couldn't get a job because I was making sure my mom was all right. My dad's not a horrible person, mind you. When he's on his medication, he's fine. So then he was taking these testosterone pills that was really making his mood even way worse than what it was. And I remember it was like 2 miles or a mile. It was a far walk from my house to this gas station. And when he needed cigarettes, he needed cigarettes. And we had to walk all the way there to because he would get his disability check. And then we had to walk home, and I had holes in my shoes because at that time I was 18. I couldn't work because I was having issues with my father. It was very difficult. We lived way on the west side, which was out in the middle of nowhere. I would get stickers because, you know, it's in the desert. There's like these stickers. I had holes in my shoes. I didn't have socks at that time because most of my socks had holes in them. I got stickers on my foot. I would tell him, like, look, my shoes have holes in them. Well, I don't care. You're gonna go get me these cigarettes, because he had a smoking problem that was bad, a very, very bad smoking problem.
Yes, Tophiachu's situation is absolutely insane. I'm not sure how it's going to be when we figure out more about her backstory, but unlike most lolcows, I'm starting to think this one will be less funny and far more tragic. But only time will tell. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe, follow the socials down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.